you know, I'm partying with Prince and
Prince.
Yeah, like
bro, you got wait.
Yeah,
Rewind.
When the crowd says Bo.
Wait. But how long you here for?
Bro, after I was here for shooting for about 4 or 5 months on some Netflix thing.
So you're here for work?
That's it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You think I'm hanging around? Have we seen each other since I've been here?
No, we haven't. Because
Okay.
the last time I see you was in LA.
Yes, Soho.
So House. That is the black link up.
Yeah. The West Hollywood one. And if you want to get grimy, go downtown.
Downtown.
Which my car got smashed twice when I went downtown.
Is it?
And now I don't even go down there anymore.
Well, someone smashed into the car?
They smashed open it like just,
Really?
You know, Skid Row's like mad.
Yeah.
The poverty's real out there, man.
How you find it when you kind of come back? Like, do you find it when you come back, like you're like, okay, wow, like the UK looks like this now, or because do you know what it is? Like, I'll go to my mum's, yeah, and I'll drive around certain parts of my mum's, and I'm like, raw. When did they build
You're very
this?
slick. You started the interview.
Do you know what I mean? This is what we do, bro. This is how we do. I'm professional, bro.
Very good, brother. I was like, hold on. Because your tone slightly shifted a little bit. I was
listen,
like,
I'm
and he
professional, man.
laid back a bit, got your pose right. I was like, big up,
man.
no.
You gotta be professional, bro. You can't go into retail and just fold the t-shirt straight away, bro. You gotta say wagwan to some of the staff.
Yeah.
And then a customer comes in, hey, how you doing? You're right. Yeah,
hey,
cool.
you was smooth with it.
Yeah, man.
But how did I feel about coming back to London? I feel like very proud, man. Very proud. Like, just for me, like, I've left 2009-10. When I come back, it's not like the place has changed, but like we have changed and Black British culture has shifted.
Yeah, of course.
We're international. Or people that I would go on about, like, even musically, because, you know, music's always the first point of, this is, we're talking about gigs, right? So I would go, back in 2009, 10, 11. And then these people become like global sensations, you know what I mean? So I feel really proud. And also, the thing that's happened a lot is like knowing how much moments in my career have meant to people. I feel like my notoriety or fame is very pocketed in different things. It's like some people don't know me at all. Some people know me from my American work, and then other work people's like the beginning, like Kidulthood and
man.
Bill and that. And you know, when I go about London, I think because I'm not here very often, it's like I was at what's that culture class recently, or the Caribbean thing in Brixton or South, or
Summer Splash.
That's it.
Yeah.
And like just meeting the people, man, just like, and hearing stuff I don't hear all the time. Yeah, because I live like in another place and kind of like almost like a really, really normal life. Yeah, of course. In another place, right? Just like the admissions of what you mean to people, and it sounded strange to my head, but they're giving context to my brain that it's been like 20 years.
Yeah, man.
Do you get what I'm saying? So
yeah, of course.
Especially turning 40 now, I'm like, I got 20 years.
You don't look 40 though, bro.
Thank you, bro.
I swear to you.
May I got tick that right
yes,
now?
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, to have context, 20 years of a career being and you were an adult. Like 20 years ago, I was an adult, and so you know, the admissions of people and what I've meant to people, that's very heartwarming. A guy came up to me literally that same thing, and he was like, "Yo, bro," I said, "What's going on?" I said, "Brother, I've been meaning to meet you." No, and this guy's like a big bitching grown man. He's like, "Bro, you saved my life." I was like, "Bro, allow it." Yeah. What do you mean? He goes, "Yo, the journey I was on something else, and I was meant to get into something else because of how I grew up." He's talking about a gang. It's a grown man. And he goes, "Just seeing you and that movement, and you went to the States. Nothing mad happened, but man became like a nurse, and I went to college, and I was like, oh wow!" It just struck me. It struck me the impact of one's life. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm still figuring that out. Like, you know what I mean? Because I feel like there's so much more I would like to do, but yeah, it's in terms of how I feel, quite moved a lot actually, and you know, one part of it and one part not. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah.
How do you look back at, you know, your upbringing here? Because you left in 2009, 2010, and I think of what London was like then. Even if I think of, like, let's say the phone was a BlackBerry, and you know, people top of the charts might have been like your Jesse J's and Tiny Tempers, and Funky House was the sound.
Yeah.
we were speaking just before where, you know, even your dad putting on shows. You had these small pockets of shows that people would perform at. You know, like myself, I'd go down and do some comedy. You mentioned Fuse as well.
Yeah.
And you left at a time where, and not to you know, probably been coming back and forth within that time as well. But how much do you look at that time to your upbringing? Because you're from Northwest London, right?
I'm kind of a mutt, man. So like I'm kind of like family settled in Barnet, but we were from like
that's North London.
That's North,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But I went to school in West London. I went to Barbara Street Stage School.
Yeah.
And then when I went to college, Barnet College, all of my friends were from Wychmore Hill, Edmonton, Tottenham.
Yeah.
Families from Tottenham. I grew up in Hackney for a time. My dad's like he was a big community leader in Hackney. So I'm a bit of a mutt.
Yeah. But would you say your roots are then more north then? Like sways to northwest, London.
Yeah, I think it's northwest. But when I go to like I literally was shooting a show recently. We was literally standing in a place called Arcola Street, right? And my dad had a big organization there called the African Caribbean Development Foundation for 20 years of my life, you know, that served the community. And so I would go there every weekend. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's a bit of Hackney. It's a bit. I'm that mutt. I've been, and it's funny. I'm really happy to be having this conversation with you because, you know, as you think about your life, you know, I've just been really thinking about my life recently. Yeah, man. Do you know what I mean? So like, you know, I'm really I'm processing. So I kind of a northwest. I don't have you know, certain people are like, I'm from Peckham. That's the big one these days, isn't it? Like everyone's from Peckham. Like Peckham put pressure on the whole map. I'm like, everyone's from Peckham. Like the fuck. I was like, oh man, I need to be from Peckham. Like, you know what I mean? So I didn't come from my.
Everyone's really from Peckham though.
Brother, everyone's from Peckham. Some men are
from the outskirts and they slide in. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, but
I didn't. But I would have to, if I was to say anything, I'd say I'm north. With a northeast, like East London, northwest. Like I'm a bit of a mutt of that thing, you know. Yeah.
And what was home life like? Because you said your dad was a big community leader. And what's your background? Is your background Jamaican? Are you small island as well?
Yeah.
What's the island? Is it St. Vincent?
That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
So my dad is a Vincy.
Okay.
You're the small island as well, isn't it?
So yeah,
Jamaican and small island.
Jamaican and St. Lucian.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is interesting because I think.
Is your mum Jamaican?
Yeah.
My mum's Jamaican.
That's St. Lucian, isn't it?
You know it goes.
So you know what's interesting, about that mix is that Jamaica is such a dominant global recognized island. Yeah. But if you go to the small islands, it's like, oh, this is like this, but it's a little bit more chill. You know? Like calm. The music's different. It's calypso. It's soca. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So how was your upbringing for you, especially with your dad being a community leader, but you going to stage school? Yeah. You know,
we had I kind of tried to canonize it in Boxing Day, which is my film about my family's life, and it's like small island or St. Vincent and Jamaica, very big family, massive parties. Me and my family watching it the other day, like, you know, we do like big gatherings every other weekend, every birthday. I come from my dad and his family come from a line of political speechwriters in St. Vincent. So my grandfather was a political speechwriter, a landowner. And so I come from that school of thought where my father's heroes are Marcus Garvey, Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
So me and my brother Mikel, you know, from very early on, we used to be told to stand up in front of people and talk about what we've heard, or we'd be in Hackney Town Hall, be like, you know, my son has something to say. So we come from a tradition of like oratory, you know, we come from that kind of family, and grew up in my brain, which another thing I've been processing is that in my brain we grew up kind of like, to my mind, like wealthy. I thought we were rich, like for at least 12, 13 years of my life. I was like, we're rich. Like, dad's got the Range Rover, dad's a business owner, he's got restaurants, he's got a hotel in St. Vincent. Like, you know, my mum is a psychotherapist, you know, so I kind of had this, I didn't have this tale of, will I have the confidence to be something? I was indoctrinated with, you can be that which you want to be.
Yeah, of course.
And then going to school from 6 years old and getting into like the audition circuit from that young, you're taught to prove yourself, you know what I mean? But then our family's life took a turn where, you know, we kind of lost our money and it was a shift, you know, for me personally. I was like, oh shit, you can lose stuff in this life, man. Like,
man.
And then, you know, structurally within the context of my family, you know, shit started to go wrong, and, you know, divorces and all the rest of it. So these are like very informative parts of my life where the first half, I would say, really filled with a lot of confidence and the groundwork of what we would become or what I would become. And just having a kind of daring nature. And the second half, like, shit, I need to get this money. I need to be successful. I need to help my family. I need to get back to where we were at. You know, just kind of kind of thing. Yeah.
When did that shift happen? When you said, all right, cool, I got to start? Because I feel like as a teenager, we all get into that mode where, for me, it was a little bit later on, where I think when I was around about 16, 17, and you start seeing like little glimpses of the finer things in life. Do you know what I mean? And you're like, oh, right, like, I want an R6, man.
Right.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I've seen
Sega
it.
Master System.
Yeah. So I think for me at 16, 17, I'd say an R6, probably like a moped. Felt like the dream. Do you know what I mean? It felt like I can get a motorbike if I get a job and I want to start making money. So did that come for you at an early age? The only reason why I asked, because you go to stage school. So was it going to stage school where, you know, for some people they have it within themselves of like, I just like expressing myself, and coming from a background of being, you know, confident, and, you know, your dad instilling lessons where you speak up in front of people, you're proud to be where you're from, which can definitely help if you go stage school.
Yeah.
Because you have to, I always believe if you're a young actor, it's really about knowing yourself. Do you know what I mean? So where did that shift start for you once you kind of hit stage school?
I think it was innate, man. You know, first 4 years of life I was by myself. I'd watch movies. I always say, like, my mum gave me cinema and my dad gave me my confidence. So I'd watch movies. I'd watch, like, you know, old school movies like the Nicholas Brothers or Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire. I'd watch like all these old school movies and go, I want to be an actor. And so by the time I'm 6 years old,
I see
Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's what I need to be doing.
Yeah.
You know, then I saw Richie Rich and I'm like, yo, that's what I need to be doing.
So McDonald's in his house.
Yeah, just like G. So I end up leaving, I end up going to stage school and just wanting to win. I've always had very competitive spirit. In fact, there's a funny moment in my career. I worked with Michael Jackson, right, on the Brit Awards, right? And my friend Jamie Sweeney, like my school friend, we did the whole performance, and I'm there, and I'm like doing the live performance. Jarvis Cocker comes on stage, the whole thing. And my friend, you can watch it on YouTube, my friend Jamie Sweeney is standing next to Michael where Michael told me to stand. And you can see me actually move him out of the way. So I've always been that, like, so shit's just in you. I was like, hold on.
How old was you at this age?
10, 11?
Really?
I just like... And I'm just like, yo. You know, so you're asking about development. I think certain things within our spirit's just incredibly innate, you know? And I've always had to work hard. Like my younger brother's very swaggy, very talented. This all comes quite easy to him. But I've got this kind of like real work hard ethic type of thing. Man. So that happened, and then in stage school, I don't know. The desire to make it has always been. I remember saying to my mum when I was 11, I was like, yo, I need to go to America. I started crying. She's like, why are you crying? I said, I sound like Shakespeare. So I didn't, because, you know, Will Smith's your idol, Eddie Murphy, you know. For me, I watched Cuba Gooding's in Jerry Maguire in 1996. And then I saw him win the Academy Award. I was like, what? You lot dropped me off in the wrong place. I sound like this. You know what I mean? And she goes, don't worry, darling, you'll figure it out. Like, you'll sort out the accent. And so by the time I'm 16, I'm applying to colleges to get... I've always wanted to get out of England in that way because I couldn't see a way to the dance.
Okay.
You know, I couldn't see a way to... You know, even when we did like all Kidulthood, them man would tell you that they were like, yeah, man, we can't wait to like, when we get on this, like, you know, we're gonna get girls. And I'm like, yeah. I'm going to Hollywood, bro. You know what I mean? It was just in my head.
Yeah. As a
young man, yeah.
We'll get onto Kidulthood in a bit. You see at that age, right, where you have that confidence and you're at stage school, because you know Naomi Campbell went to your stage school.
Mm-hmm.
So, who did you ever have anybody that you looked up to from these side of the shores? Because again, like for myself in the career that I do doing stand-up, I was always massively inspired by the Americans. It was always bigger, it was always brash, but I'd always be like, I like Lee Evans as well. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Did you ever draw any inspirations from here as well? Because it feels like from your upbringing, you know, you like whether you're watching Hollywood films at 6 years old or you have your idols, and you know you have a dad who's extremely confident and a mum, and it's almost like you get all of those things. But was there ever any of those things that like you was ever inspired by, like in your own backyard at all, or was it just
in my own backyard?
Yeah,
specifically.
Like, or
we would do like family dances and stuff like that. We'd put, there's old tapes of me record. I got 10 brothers and sisters. There's like 10 of us, and well, there's 10 now. But I've always had a big family, so we would. And I would take the big camera and like direct my family. Like, yeah, you do this, you do the Puffy and Mace dance, and you know the Bad Boys thing, and we'll do this. And so we're an entertainment family. We've been grew up doing that. In terms of my American journey, I probably saw Adrian Lester in a film called Primary Colours in 1996.
Okay. With
Kathy Bates, and it was like the first black British person I saw in a movie out there, and I was like, yo, okay, yeah, let's do it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But not in that earlier stage, man. You know, you've got seeing success. If we're taking it outside of acting, just seeing success, seeing like So Solid, like literally. You know, when I was younger, I remember going to Eros nightclub and standing in queue at around 16 with my boys. We were there for like 45 minutes, 50 minutes. We're trying to get to Mary Winans something. Not that we're big Mary Winans fans, but we just wanted to, you know, the gal in it.
Yeah.
So we're rolling through, blah, 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 blah. And we were there, and then all you see is like a bunch of TTs turn up, and they just get through. And I'm like, John, man. I said, brother, nah, we've got to become someone, man. I can't be standing in this queue like this. So seeing like success, you know, meeting Richard Blackwood, you know, when I was 17, and you know, he was a star, like a proper, you know, he's a star still, but he was a larger than life figure. He felt quite polished and American. All his people then were American. You know what I mean? Like, you know, he's with Destiny's Child, and he was accepted very early. So, you know, seeing those examples of success, yes. But from an acting point of view, but it's not really, you know, not really, nah. Not really. Yeah.
How much did stage school give you, you know, the ingredients to do what you done before you got to film? Because I feel like the stage is, I'm in such awe of people that, you know,
of yourself?
go on the stage.
Of yourself?
No, do you know what it is? Because for me it's different because I'm a stand-up, so my thing is just relying on the laughter. As long as I get the laughter, I'm like, cool, this goes all right. But acting on stage is a different beast. So, and especially at a young age as well. You know, whenever I've seen young actors, and I'm just like, Robbie, you're good, man. Like, and even whether it's like, you know, when I went to uni and I've done theatre production, and you'd meet, you know, some of the people that would do like stage, and they do, you know, theatre, and but more that like kind of dancing and Broadway and stuff. You'd be like, yeah, I don't know about this whole fame thing. Do you know what I mean? Right. But also there was definitely a side of it that even now, if I go to something on the West End, I'm like, you know, there's always a young person, like a young kid, and I went to see Michael Jackson recently, and they have like a young Mike who the kid must be like 10 years old.
Right.
But to go out in front of those people is like raw. Like that's where you get your real beginning of your 10,000 hours. Do you know what I mean? What tools did the stage at a young age give to you?
Well, I did 2 big musicals in the West End. I did Oliver for a couple of years. I played Han Walker. I was 13, and then I did before that played Sammy Davis Jr. at 11.
11.
Yeah. So around that same Michael Jackson thing, I did that. I played Sammy Davis Jr. Did, you know, the Al Jolson story with Brian Conley, for anybody that does, you know, he was a big comedian guy. So I got the, you know, the butterflies, the fear. You go out there, there's a rainbow around my shoulder. The whole music, same kid. I did that. It gives you confidence. You get used to doing it, and then you don't as well. Like if you ask me to go back on stage tomorrow, I'm going to be I've done stage since before I left the country. So that fright is gonna, even if I go and present something, them nerves, they come up, man, because there's nothing like a live audience and that adrenaline, and so I just think you just get into the practice of getting over the hurdle of the fear. Like, what's it like for you as a stand-up? Like,
I think as a stand-up is interesting because when you're in front of an audience, for me, it's just, I take to it like water. I find it so seamless.
Easy, okay.
To find a topic of discussion that I might have pre-written, I might improvise, I might go back into the library and be like, I haven't done this one in a while, let's try that. But
do you do it like on the fly?
Yeah, if I do work in progress shows.
Wow.
My work in progress is like a beat sheet of there's that subject, that subject, that subject, that subject. But I need to be on stage for about an hour and a half to 2 hours to just keep hitting the beats. And then once I record it, I listen to it back, I'm like, there's something in that. Because I'm not doing it. If I over prep and I'm like, I've written this bit. Because that bit that I might have written might take me 30 minutes to write, but it could take me less than 5 minutes to perform. So I'm sitting there just like, oh, right, we spent the whole day writing this bit and it didn't even bang. Where sometimes the bits in the room, especially when you tour, I think that the touring side of a comic is where the gold really starts happening. That's where I say the gold starts shining.
Culturally, doesn't it? Does it shift city to city? And
100%, man.
That Liverpool jokes and London jokes are going to feel different.
Yeah. And I think that's why I'm so in awe of when I watch actors on stage where, I've only done a small taste of being on screen in terms of acting. And again, I've only done a small amount of it on stage when I was at uni doing acting.
How do you find the shift between screen and
screen's
when you're
interesting.
playing a part?
Yeah, do you know what? Screen's interesting because I'm so used to improv.
Right. The
so
discipline of the...
yeah, when it's like, cool, that's the script, and I would say, hey, can I have a little...
You get them writers though that they're not having it apart. I just worked with one.
I had to do this one thing.
Comma and everything.
This thing last year, and it was only like a small cameo role. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I know I'm in this cameo role for the comedy. So, I'm like, cool. And action. Do it. Goes great. Get a little laugh from the actors. Yeah, man. Great. And then like,
American.
all right, cut. So it was shot in Estonia.
Okay.
But it's got to look like it's America.
Got you.
So obviously I'm on screen now. And they're like, hey, Mo, if you could do it, just follow the script. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, but that version kind of banged, didn't it? But cool.
Forget your version.
The minute when I was on that script one, I was like, boo. Boo, man.
It gets like that.
But there is a massive admiration I have for actors as a whole. Do you know what I mean? To embody the character and execute it, you got to work with other actors and what they bring to it. I
don't get nervous when I'm doing screen acting.
You don't get nervous?
I don't get nervous.
Wow.
And I'm a person that can actually watch my work. A lot of actors can't watch their work.
Yeah.
I find it almost like I have a complete dissociation with the roles I play. I've built so much rod between me and them. Like, I don't play myself. Like, that's very, very rare. A version of myself. I played it maybe 3 times in my career. And so there's a feeling of like, when I watch something, I'm actually sometimes fascinated about like how I got there or where I was it marks a pause moment of where I was in my life and how much I've given myself over to the process of the performance.
Man. Yeah.
Whereas if I was watching like maybe this interview, I might be like, it's a bit different. But when it comes to that, there is, I guess it's that duck to water thing you're talking about.
Yeah.
It just feels very, you do all the prep work, and if you do the prep work and you turn up as close to the person as possible, then great. You know what I mean? Even when there's like crazy dialogue, like I did a lawyer thing a couple years ago now, and it was like crazy legalese, OCG A91442 subsection A, blah 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 blah. And as soon as you're in it, it's like something else drives.
It's free flowing. Yeah. Do you ever do this thing? And I must ask, because I do this sometimes, where you might be, I don't know if for your case is that you're acting and you're delivering the lines and you're acting, but you are thinking of something else. So it's like you're on autopilot. Do you ever have that? Do you ever do that as an actor?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Very rare. Yeah, sometimes.
I only say because as a comic, I didn't know if it was the same with acting, but there's a lot of times where I'll do, if I'm touring and I've done this show for, I don't know, like 12 months, I'm on stage. I know what's coming out my mouth.
Yeah, yeah.
But in my head, I'm like, have I got noodles at home?
Right,
when I get
right.
home, I'm gonna have noodles. But everything is going on here.
That's sick. The experience you're talking about, I've had it on stage, and I think I had it on stage once.
Okay.
When I did my last school play, because we more did performing arts when I was in school. We more did like tap and ballet and jazz. But my last play, I did this play called Inspector Calls, and I had a moment where I was doing my thing, and then all of a sudden I picked up a glass, but I never ever planned to pick up the glass before.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Do you know, you're just in it, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I was like, holy shit, this is cold. So like, there's a me watching the whole thing happen, and I'm like, oh shit. But I've rarely ever got back to that moment again. I had it a bit when I played King, when I did played Dr. King, and there was like, because I was giving the speech, you know, the March on Washington speech, and you're doing it in front of like 200 extras, and you kind of like, but it's not even a practice anymore. It's like, you know, you just, those moments I'm like, oh fuck. But I was able to sustain it. I was able to sustain it because I'm a little bit more of a type of actor. I lean, it just happens. I just end up leaning closer to the energy. Like, I'm always fascinated by people, you know, if I worked with different people, what they know of me. Yeah. Or if someone was like, oh, this is what Amel's like. And I'm like, unless you're meeting me in like life, I kind of, for a lot of my roles or work, it's like you're meeting a version of me that's energetically closer to that individual. Yeah, of course. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm always curious. I'm always curious about like, oh, so who was that? You know what I mean? Like, who did you think you know? Yeah.
How was it early in your career when, you know, it's 2005 and you read the script for Kidulthood, and what went through your head when you first read that script?
So it was 2003.
Is it 2003?
Yeah, it was 2003.
Because it came out 2006?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was 2003. I'm in Barnet College, and there was a guy called Aaron, who's just, you know, one of the brothers at college, and he's like, yeah, I'm going for this film, man. This film, it's like this new street thing. And I'm like, okay, yeah. But, you know, they're trying to see, like, you know, real street people. I'm like, okay. So I call up my agent. I'm like, yo, what's going on? There's an audition for this film. Anyway, she goes, you know, we're going to get you in. I end up going to the audition. You know, I meet Noel Clark. I meet Menhaj Huda. Menhaj Huda is the director. I meet all these different people. And I think that it was like a big open audition in West London. I think probably hundreds. I don't want to be a hyperbole, but hundreds of people, and they would just whittle us down and we'd improvise. And I remember ended up doing getting down to the last like 30, 20 people, and then doing the bullying scene where Sam, the character Sam, bullies us. And I remember like getting into a situation where the actor, you know, kind of went to headbutt us. I was like, is this real? Like, what's going on? Like, and then it was I think I was with Adam at the time. And there was like a bit of a scuffle, and he was like, yeah, this is good. Then we came back for the second round of auditions, ended up getting the job, and we did a reading for Film 4 at the time, and then the film went down. Nothing. A year later, they're like, okay, we've got some money. They had to do private financing. Film 4 wouldn't take it, blah, 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 blah. No one wanted this film.
Really?
This was totally privately financed with like Costa Coffee money, and like all these different families came together to make this £500,000 movie. This film was not meant to happen. Even within the context of the business, you know, now I do a lot of producing, like this film's sometimes not overly embraced because I think it's a little bit of a mar on the, you know, the British institutional system, which happens, you know, just sometimes you don't see it. So we came back and everybody got their parts but me. And I just spent the year doing like a play around town going, yo, I'm going to be in this film called Kidulthood. I'm telling you, I'm the lead of the thing, blah, 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 blah. And everyone got their parts but me. And I always hold Hoods, who's the director, who lives in LA. I'm always busting his balls over this. I was like, bro, you tried to stop the history, bro. You tried to, you're an enemy of progress. So, so everyone got their parts but me and another actress. And me and that actress had to audition against. Adam got his part, Femi got his part. And I went home that week, man, and I was just bawling. I was like, yo, like, the hell, like this opportunity, because the script felt very, very singular. I'd never heard anything like it. I went to stage school, so within the prism of being in stage school, even me understanding the urbanized language of our black culture came in college. So I was like 2 years on the job of like, what was going on in Peckham? Do you know what I'm saying? And I was like, so I was adjusting my ear to it. I was like, okay, this is how people are speaking. And, a lot of my friends at the time, like my friends that are now the 16-year-old friends and all the rest of it, they peeped me to the dance. I started sagging my trousers and walk around fam and did a couple of mashed up the you're trying to be cool in college, but you're wearing a bandana. That was 1996. You're wearing Tupac's bandana. You're like, that was 1996, bro. You're kind of or wearing a Donald Jones Kangol hat. You're like, brother, you're not quite. You're a bit out of the loop, fam. But anyway, so everyone got their job, but me and an actress. Funny enough, me and that girl were together, and there's something about trying to take the energy of in real life on screen, and it just didn't work for them when we auditioned. So she never got the part. But I went home that week, and I learned. It changed my whole approach to acting. I learned the entire screenplay, and I came in for the audition. It was just me and one other guy.
So you learned it in 1 week?
The entire screenplay. Screenplay. I remember going into the audition room somewhere up Soho, like where we are now, and Hood saying, "Oh, we're going to do some other scenes as well. So here's the sides." And I was like, "Oh, I know it." And he goes, "You know what I'm going to choose." I said, "I know this. I know the entire script." And because you know the entire script. I said, "Yeah, I know the entire script." And so Femi and Adam came in, Femi and Adam came in. Me and that other guy would go back and forth. But I did every scene off book, and it just changed the way I worked and all the rest of it. And eventually, about a week later, I got the part, and the rest began to become history. Like, I didn't know that film would be, it's a classic. It's literally a classic.
Oh no, it's
people.
A classic,
it's part of their childhood.
Yeah, of course.
Which I've been kind of studying. Like, I was like, why is this film like so important to people? But I think anything that's incredibly impressionable when you're a kid, it stays in your mind more intimately. Like for me, it's like watching the 5 Heartbeats. So when I meet man like Leon, I'm like, oh, mad, this is like you know what I mean. So it's in the brain in a particular space in mind. But yeah, man, we did the film, and then in 2004 we shot it, and then 2006 it got released. So there was stages of like this film coming out, and we had the premiere in Empire, Leicester Square, and I don't know if I knew, confident, but I didn't know where my level of acting was at that time necessarily.
Yeah, of course.
And then I saw the reaction from the audience.
What was that reaction like?
A changing of the guard.
Oh wow.
A generation being heard. Dizzy Rascal was there and all that. Like, it was like a changing of the guard. A generation's been heard. Something authentic. That's not just street. It's about kids. It's about multicultural London. All of, like, it felt like a shift in London, in UK. It felt like it then. And I was on that. That came out March 3rd, and I'd just started The Bill January 11th. So I was on The Bill, and Kidulthood was in the cinema, and I was on TV twice a week with The Bill, with Lewis Hardy. Yeah. And so, you're getting that Middle England audience while you're getting, the street thing, and, man. It just started to, yeah.
Do you ever sit back and, did you ever get a chance to really absorb the success of it all? Because I guess you know, what you're telling me of how hard it was to put the film out and having a film come out where people felt like they were finally listened to. Because I remember when it came out and I had just left school, and it was interesting for us at leaving school because we were like, oh right, but this is what's going on. Like, and I think what was really interesting around the film is in London we were like, yeah, life's not far from that in some parts. But I remember the reaction that, and I went to Cardiff, that my cousins had, and they used to watch the film. They watch it and watch it again, and I remember they'd come to London. They were like, yeah. So it's like that. It's really like that. And I'm like, yeah, but let's not forget it's a film.
Yeah, it's amplified.
But I think that the film was such a cultural moment in a way that even now it's still got quotables. Do you know what I mean? Trevor, I'm like, I got driller.
Yeah, love that. Love that, boy.
Me and my friends still say that to
Trevor,
this day.
Milika Gondrilla.
You.
Kind of like really, really well done over the top acting by
listen, man, it's so memorable, boy. But it was so many
you. That one I don't hear that much, but that's my
one. Bit, you know. Every time you see it, you. But like the film really sparked one when it came to, you know, independent films. And I think it was also at a time where we had a pocket of films that were released around that time that we still say, like Bullet Boy came out around that time, like really iconic films that really gave us, you know, our stamp on, like, you know, it's like you're saying, like we grew up watching a lot of the American stuff. So growing up watching Men in Society or, you know, Juice or Boys in the Hood, and then realizing we're like, oh, like we got some of these here.
Yeah,
you know, we got our own stories. Yeah. Did you ever get to really enjoy the success? Because if you're doing a bill at the same time, did you ever really get to take it in? Because the only reason why I asked, I remember what London was like at that time. And, you know, there wasn't the social media and stuff. So what was life like for you, you know, just living day-to-day life around that time?
Do you know what? I feel like it was like, I'd say, you know, I don't know it to be true exactly, but it felt we had MySpace. I remember that, but it felt very, very amplified. I felt very, very embraced by the community, like, you know, and then it just felt like, I guess, fame today is something that can kind of be a little bit more manufactured, I think. Whereas I think if you're famous, you know, maybe 20 years ago, you're famous from I guess you're famous from like the street and the people coming together and really focusing on a product. Yeah. So if you're thinking about The Bill, for example, like 8 to 9 million people watching that at one time, you know, all them EastEnders numbers back in the day, like at one time, you know, if I say to you, you know, you're not my mirror. Yes, I am. You know, we all know, innit? Because we're all watching something at the same time. So I think fame and the business is shifted, but did I get to enjoy it? A lot, man. A lot. Yeah, I got to enjoy it. But I've always I'm a futurist by nature. So to what degree is interesting, because I'm always like, okay, but what am I doing next? I'm also very big on not being trapped in a time. Okay. You know, I'm very big on like evolution and what else one can create. And I've always been, my blessing and my curse is that I've always been very ambitious, and I've always known I've always thought I know what's possible. Yeah. So that's a blessing and a curse, right? You go into stuff, and you know, even going to America when I did with nothing really. Like, I went to America with like nothing. They didn't hear about Kidulthood or The Bill, or they don't know about those things. I mean, it's totally in that way. Like, you don't have the pop from international, you just have the real, like the DVD. Like, there you go, like, you know. Yeah. I remember doing like a very small part in a film called Red Tails, and like getting a bunch of DVDs to like show all the American actors, you know. And in that moment, funny enough, I gave Cuba Goodings my DVD when we watched it in Prague, and he was like, "Man, this is what is going on. It's like Lahane, right? You know." And that's the guy that ended up signing my visa to get into the States. Oh, really? In 2010. Do you get what I'm saying? Wow. So like, they just didn't know, but they've had these pockets of. So even me going to the States, I've always been a bit more like, you know, what's next?
Yeah.
Which is a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing and a curse.
Because I think at that time, you know, if you're doing the bill and you was a household name around that time, especially with a film like Kidulthood, which the longevity is, like you're saying, of a film like that. Films, those moments just felt like they lasted for so long.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not to say that they don't now. I just feel that we have much more choice of, we're watching this now, and next week we're watching something else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the longevity can.
So true, man.
Yeah, because now I can choose to watch whatever I want, and before I could have binged one of the best TV series made, and then the next week I'm like, I'm
next?
on to the next one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So
and I feel like there used to be a time where it was like, have you seen this?
Yeah.
Ain't seen it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it.
I think what I was trying to say is the word of mouth of it all.
Yes.
That's the difference in the fame.
Yes. That's a perfect way to summarize it. So you're kind of in your middle in some ways, because where you are now, your journey in like the last 15 years of like, you know, going to America at that time, you know, where America, especially LA, is an interesting place. And as a Black British actor as well, you know, now, you know, we can kind of see, you know, you're like, oh, I've seen this person go in this thing. They've kind of moved over there, and now they're in the thing over there. You can kind of map the journey a little bit more. Whereas I feel like, what was it like at 2010? Because, you know, when I'm there, like, I've seen you in Soho House.
Yeah.
I played football with like Rami, for example. Do you know what I mean? Like, anyone listening, that's a mutual friend, essentially. That's your guy, basically, innit? Play football at my man's house still. That's so crazy. Rod Stewart's house.
Yeah. Man like TJ.
It's my little flex sometimes.
Yeah. Rod Stewart's house, man.
Yeah, bro. We go Rod's house, bro.
Rod's.
You don't go Rod's.
No.
That's crazy for you, bro. Get your money up, bro. But I think, what was life like for a Black British actor in 2010? Because, bro, I went to different parts of the States recently, and you know, some of the questions I get asked now still blows my mind. Someone say, "Hey man, y'all got what's that, man?" I'm like, "Oh, what brand?
Y'all got niggas out there?"
No, bro. Some guy says to me, "Y'all got Louis Vuitton out there?" I said, "Louis Vuitton." I said, "Bro, it's down the road, bro. Paris is round the corner, man." But like, what was it like for you in 2010? Because the world was a different place back then, man. We didn't have social media.
Yeah. Look, I got very blessed, man. I went out there 2010, and within 2 weeks of doing something called pilot season, if anybody doesn't know, pilot season it's like, that's RIP pilot season.
The water bottle tour.
Yeah, but the pilot season was like January to April every year, where you can come and change your life. You know what I mean? It's that kind of vibe. So I went out there 2010 pilot season on the quiet, didn't tell no one, and within like 13 days, I got this show called Harry's Law.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
I was actually flown out there for another thing. I didn't get that. Same barling in the thing, like, yo, my life's about to change, and it's gone. Because they sent the first class flight, they do all the thing, and then, you know,
first class back then was a different first class than it is now.
You know, you're out there. I'm trying not to drink champagne because I'm like, I need to focus on the lines. You know, you're focused, right?
Yeah.
I got out there, and I think what was it called? I can't remember. It's some show with ABC, and I never got it, man. And I was like, fuck, that close. And that's a tragic. That's like a mini tragedy in your life, because you're like. Because to me, I did Kid Out with the Bill, did some plays, did Silent Witness, but to me, I was like, you've got to go. Like, there's nothing here. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing. If you want to continue outside, especially want to continue outside the trajectory of playing a particular type of role, it's very limited. So I was like, I need to go. Went over there, didn't get that, but then I grinded and focused. Like, I was like, I need to go to every single room and body this stance. And I probably like one of the first batches of our generation, because obviously Idris Elba was over there, and you know, David Oyelowo had already done there. But 2009, like, I went over there, got that job, Harry's Law, and it kind of sent a ripple to people, like actors out here. They were like, oh shit, someone we know that we grew up with, that's we've seen about, that's a part of our thing, is there, like doing. Because
it wasn't the Instagram post.
Yeah, it was like it was a MySpace post. It was a Facebook, and I waited. I sat on it for about 2 months to make sure that the show was going to get commissioned, and then because you'd have a pilot, you could shoot a pilot and then not.
This happens a lot, like, where sometimes you can get paid for a job, and everything, and it just won't come out.
Yeah. They do back in the day. They used to do pilot, and then they see if they're going to do a series order of the show.
Okay.
So we did the pilot. It was called Kindreds, and then, funny enough, loads of people got cut from the pilot because they just reorganized the storyline, and then my storyline survived, and I did Harry's Law out there for a year, and then my character got cut. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh shit!
But yeah, my character got cut from it because there was like a change of the guards of, like, I don't know who was it, like one of these NBC heads, and so again, let me get back to it. Like, on the grind, do a little CSI Miami, and then the butler comes along. All right, bam, So I've been like one of those, have a great moment and then incrementally grind. Have a great moment and then boom, 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 boom. Some people have the boom and then they're gone.
Yeah.
But my journey's been like boom, all right, cool. And it's actually, what the good thing about it, it's been very frustrating at times, but the good thing about it is I've had to become really good at my craft, like true, and also become someone that can shift and change and fit in different places.
Yeah, of course.
If you look at, like, I guess the characters I've played, it's not like a through line of an individual. Do you get what I'm saying? Which would be nice, but it's more like, oh, he's done that. It's all these different type of versatility within the work. But life was amazing. I was watching Entourage, I met my boys out there, like my American brethren, we're all 24. Man's making money. I've got a British accent. I'm driving the flipping BM or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Driving down Sunset Boulevard. Every year, people are coming in to, like, get their job. I'm meeting up with them. I'm partying with Prince and... Prince? Yeah, like...
Bro, you got... Wait. Rewind.
When the crowd says Bo.
Wait. What do you mean you're partying with Prince? How? Where? What? Start that from the top, rude boy.
Bro, we got stories, B. We got stories.
You can't just drop that like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out there in the BMW.
Yeah.
Chilling with Prince.
That's a little car as well, but when you're 24, Prince. You're having a nice time. Yeah, so me and an actress called Gugu and Bartha Raw were doing a show on Warner Brothers a lot at the same time. I was doing Harry's Law, she was doing something else. We're mates. We did a film called Fallout with Lenny James in London. She went out there, did her thing, boom, boom, boom. So she's like, one day she's like, yo, Mel, I gotta go to this party. I'm like, all right, bet. She's like, you wanna come? I said, yeah, what? She goes, it's Prince. I was like, yeah? I was like, okay. That looks like the Prince symbol, low-key. It's Prince. Welcome, Prince. And he was just on her. He just fancied her. And so he got us into his party. I'm there. It's like L. Cool J, Taraji P. Henson, like, just having a great time. And then Prince is there playing with the band and, the bald-headed girls. And you go up in the Bel Air mansion and there's, like, he's got the whole, the water, but he's got, like, glass all over his pool. And it's blue, or it's purple, sorry, with the Prince symbol underneath it. And we're dancing on top of the Prince symbol. And, I remember going to me, he's like, yo, man, is that your girl? I'm like, nah, that's right. Oh, she fine though, right? She fine. So, yeah. I had a great time in my 20s over there having a proper laugh. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many of those memories, man.
How easy is it to get swept up into that, though? Because I've gone out to LA and I've had an absolute ball of a time.
Yeah.
When you are also meant to be working as well. Because I think that's probably the danger of LA in some ways, where
the seduction of it all.
I think the stats is crazy. Of, like, I think it's like 100,000 people go there a year to make it, and 100,000 people leave every year. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So how hard is it to focus when the vibes are like that? Because that is like LA in a nutshell, where, like, you can just be chilling, having a drink, and someone's like, what you up to? Not much. We're going to Jamie's house.
Yeah.
Who's Jamie, bro? I don't know this brother. We're going to Jamie Foxx's house.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You want to come?
Jamie loves a party, bro. He's been partying since the freaking...
How hard is it to stay focused? Because that don't happen in London. You know what I mean? Like, yes, Wagwan, you want to go to a Shubs? Where is it? I know, Halsden. I might pass through, you know. Whose party is it? Yeah, bruv, Shankar. Shankar.
Who's Shankar?
I don't know.
I might not go to that one still.
You're going to the hood party, bruv.
Yeah.
30 man there, sipping juices in the little, you know, the little white cups.
Yeah.
You know, now the red cups are popular.
The white cups do and it starts to break after the third drink.
You start biting it.
Yeah.
It's as good.
Oh shit, the white cups.
But like, how hard is it to stay focused in that environment in LA, especially as a Brit? Because, you know, you start talking, it's a rap. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you talk for no reason.
Yeah. Right, darling, how are you? You put on some James Bond accent just because, you know, you don't want to make sure that, because they can't really understand the ting, innit? They understand the ting now, but in the 2010s, they were like, what you Jamaican? Do you know what I mean? And you wanted to understand you're British. People wonder why my accent, they're like, yo, you've been there 15 years, your accent's proper
Don't
London.
lose that, bro.
Well, bro, what are you talking about? It's your cape, innit?
The calling cards.
Oh, man. The answer to the question is fairly simple. Yeah, no, it's easy to focus.
Yeah.
For me, it's been easy to focus, man. Yeah. I think it's easy to focus. I do, because one, like, it's different when you're there as a visitor.
Yeah.
So I would get the visitor vibes when everybody would come in to pilot season. But more time you're having just doing normal life, innit? You had the coffee shop, especially now. But like, you know, yeah. But good times in LA.
I see, that's that look where you're like, let me just stop there, bruv.
Yeah.
Incriminate myself.
Yeah. LA's been good.
But also, you started to get into your directing bag as well at Boxing Day. What made you want to do the shift into that world? Because, especially, you know, being an actor, I guess you are always looking at other avenues, because you spoke about, you know, producing as well. But what was it that started to inspire that shift in your journey as well?
Again, I don't think it's a shift, man. I've been like making short films since I left LA. I used to finance my short films. So I did a short film called The Pickup. I did one called Drink, Drugs and KFC, which a lot of like young actors who are doing well now, like Nadine Mills or Samson Kao or Aaron Fontaine, that was all their launching pad into the thing.
Okay.
You know, so I've always wanted to direct, and I self-finance my directing journey for a long time. Even with the Boxing Day, which I was always like, man, I love Love Actually. You know, I love The Wood. I love films like that. There's no film out there that represents like the black middle class family or the black family having a great time. Like a movie that celebrates our culture and, you know, about love. And, you know, even with Boxing Day, I kind of, you know, as a writer, I kind of draw from my life. So the premise of Boxing Day is a British writer takes American girl home to meet his Caribbean family, and he's left behind his ex-fiancée who's become a star. Aspects of that was my real life, you know what I mean? Like,
because you had Leanne Pinnock in it as well.
Leanne Pinnock in it, yeah. She played the ex-girlfriend who became a pop star. So I kind of I love writing. I want to do so much more of it in the next, I guess, towards the end. Like I love writing and filmmaking. There's so much to say from my soul, you know, as a human existing. So with Boxing Day, I've wanted to make a film like that forever and a day. And to be honest, bro, everyone was just on some no thing. Like, no, you know, maybe. And around 2019, I met a producer in LA. He's become my producing partner. I said, you know what, yeah? I'm going to make this Boxing Day for like 500 grand. It was a much more contained version. And I'm going to put up 250 grand of my own money. Right? And as soon as I did that and walked into all of these buildings, like the British system, it all opened up. Everybody was very like, okay, you're going to do that? Yeah. I want you guys to partner, and I went around trying to, you know, raise the money. In the end, they all just kind of like bought me out, you know? I tell that story to just tell, because a lot of people ask, well, how you do it and all the rest of it. Sometimes whatever version of putting your money where your mouth is, you just got to get out there
take the gamble
and do it. But I've wanted to make films my entire life. I grew up in a family of 10 kids, or 7 at the time. And I would be the guy with the big camera, them big old school cameras like that. All right, you guys go there. All right, cut. And you pause it. And then you're just like, all right, and then, all right, boom, Drew Hill. tell me what you. All right, cut. All right, cool. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like the whole thing with my siblings. So I'm a filmmaker. It's not a fad for me, or it's not just a way to progress. It's an expression of my soul, a very intimate one, like something that. And again, it's kind of duck to water type of vibes. Sometimes, to be honest, it's hard to be on set as an actor. Unless I'm incredibly engrossed in the role and it's very demanding. Rustin, it's very demanding, like, you know, the whatever, Yardy with Idris Elba. Like, it's a very, because you're transforming, then boom. But sometimes I'm like, the adrenaline of wanting to tell my stories, our stories, you know, our stories as black people, not just like modern, just from a global perspective. I'm hoping, by the grace of God, I get the opportunity, like I'm afforded the blessings to really show the world what's in my soul as a filmmaker. Yeah. Because that's deeply entrenched in me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I guess that's so important for actors as well, where you can go to LA and be hugely successful, but also coming back here and still doing things here as well that you're still passionate about. Because I guess it must be also, you know, easy for any actor who goes across the pond and finds success to say, well, so I need to go back home. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, well, I've kind of done the thing, but I guess it's almost wanting more. But also, once you start realizing, you know, what happens behind the screen and the deals that are made there, it gives you a different perspective of like, oh, right, I thought I was doing all right on the screen. Yeah. This is what happens
off the screen,
and I don't even know who these people are, but essentially.
From a fiscal point of view, for sure.
Yeah.
But even just like, you're shaping the world's view of any one group of people when you're filmmaking, you know, and you know, you do that with, you know, you specifically have canonized an experience through humor. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? And I think some actors, I've met a lot of actors, and and some of the greatest actors, like even a Kathy Bates, who's a good friend of mine, they are very, very committed to that particular part of the art form, you know, like singularly, and it's so powerful. They get their full kick out of that. For me, it's the dynamic aspects of it. I mean, when I'm on set these days, if I'm a gun for hire, I'm with the producers, and because I now speak the language of a producer, they kind of invite me into the conversations that otherwise you must have found this, right? That they wouldn't invite you to. But as soon as you can speak the language of, you know, putting stuff out there, or, you know, and not just the creative language, the fiscal language, or you know, I love that aspect of the job in this middle part of my life.
You know what it is? I think about what you're saying is really interesting, of that part of being behind the camera and essentially, you know, being an architect of your own design. I feel like once you kind of get, I don't know, if you want to use the word of like getting that seat at the table, it gives you, for me anyway, it's giving me a different scope of, you know, there's more strings to your bow in some ways. So essentially, where you can look at it from a viewpoint of like, I can make it, I can be in it, I can write it, and I can direct it. Not in a way that's just a flex of, hey man, I've wrote it, directed it, starred in it. Do you know what I mean? Because I think it always sounds good on camera, or, you know, in the press release or whatever. But once, you know, you have those meetings and you sit down with someone and you sit down with like a director, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. So what kind of lenses are we looking at using? And you have those, and they go, oh, you know about lenses, oh, okay, cool. So what's the frame of time that we're gonna be filming this in? Because I understand if there's a budget, if we go over, how does that start looking?
Right. Cutting into the day next year.
Yeah. Cool. Are we gonna? What's daylight saying? Because is that going to be more expensive? Do you need another day? I feel like those questions are so important to give you a better understanding of, even when you go back front of the screen.
Yeah. Because like, you listen, you stop being, you know, us actors, we can be a bit, you know, our process is so challenging. So you become very singular and isolated often in trying to achieve the very thing that people have to watch and believe in. Whereas I love about being a director and a filmmaker, it's a community. There's a community aspect to it. I'm very isolated as an actor, especially the roles I get to play, which are often deep shit. Do you know what I mean? Whereas, you know, Boxing Day was a joy because I'm just in full communication with the whole process. Plus, I love, I'm a competitive person, but I really, really love seeing people fly, especially if I've got some hand in the writing. Seeing, like, you know, it's about Leanne Pinnock, just like working with someone that did not act. And there's a good reason for her to be in the movie from a business standpoint, but I saw parts of her as a person in interviews, and I was like, oh man, like, she can be the Georgia. I remember the girl I wrote it about, it's like, oh, she's got that temperament, there's an innocence. And I was like, damn, can I get it? Like, in seeing her growth through the process, or Shay Cole or Tamara Lawrence, like seeing that, and then working with veterans like Marion Jean-Baptiste, and actually understanding the process of that, like understanding what the job of directing is. It is to have the entire vision of it. But actually, when you're on set, it's almost like you're not. I thought you were the boss. You're not the boss, man. There can be a mutiny. One, if people stop believing in you, there can be a mutiny. And secondly, you know, your job is to understand each person and service what they do. You know, that might mean really getting out of the way. Do you know? I really have kind of taken to that like a duck in water. Like, I really have. It's such a fun thing, man, and it's. Like filmmaking, I think why it has such, like, you know, reverence, it takes so many people and so many yeses to get to just doing what we love doing. It's like, you know, you can make a hit in the bedroom, you know. I've heard you make hits on Instagram with your raps and stuff. You know? Oh yeah, bro. I was like, where are you going with this, bro? I heard you make hits in the bedroom. No. I was like, hey, my guy. But yeah, bro. I mean, listen. Listen, when I was especially at my mum's, listen, man. I thought I was like, yeah, bro, I can. And the thing is, I was doing it I didn't have no mic, so a lot of it was all on. It's on camera. Do you know what I mean? But once you put a backing track on it. Yeah. So yeah, man. You speak about, you know, roles and characters and isolating yourself for a role. How important was it when you got the call to play Martin Luther King? You know, that must have been so challenging, but also, I don't know, was it challenging or what? Or was it, because, you know why I asked? Because for a UK actor to play someone so iconic, that question, I don't know where it was for yourself, but also the question always comes about with, you know, British actors playing American roles. You know what I mean? And if there's a role that you play and you're playing Martin Luther Vandross. I don't know why I was going to say that. But if you're playing Martin Luther King, like, that must have been, I don't know, man. Where did your head sit in that space? So I was in Canada. I was doing a show called The Porter, and I was in the sound mix and score mix for Boxing Day. So I was quite inundated with, like, loads of stuff. And very strangely, I wish this happened more often, but very strangely, I literally was in the yard in Canada, and I woke up from a dream. Lol. Right, I had a dream, right? and Steven Spielberg has said to me in the dream, you know, I need you to come and play Martin Luther King. That's in a dream? Yeah, I'll show you. I've got it all. I'll show you. And I was like, huh? It's not come to me. It's not been a desire of mine to play King. It was just so random. And literally, I want to say a week, maybe a month later, there was like an audition that came up to play Martin Luther King in Rustin. And I'm like, that's mad. That's so mad. And because I was so busy and I was doing my films, I was more feeling that, to be honest. I quickly put it on tape. And I had the look of King because I had the moustache with no face hair for the role. And I did it, and they liked it. And then the next day they were like, "Oh, listen, before you go to work at 8 a.m., they want to screen test you over Zoom with George C. Wolfe." And I'm like, "What?" I said, "I can't." You know, I want to prepare, and I didn't have no time to prepare. and I was thrown into the situation, and I read off sides. Which, you remember my kiddo journey. I'm like, no, I need to be fully script. Like, and I just had to read off sides, and it was like the smoothest transition into getting the role. And when I got the role, I was like, oh my God, man. And then I shat myself, and I was like, how are you gonna do this? How are you going to do this? Because
I always think anyone that steps into the arena of a biopic and plays someone, that's some balls, man.
Yeah, I was like, so. I called up David Oyelowo, who played Martin Luther King before in Selma, and he's like, "Oh, welcome to the club, tip." I'm like, "Mate, what do I do?" He goes, "See this woman called Liz Himmelstein, who would work on the operatic style voice that King had, and then he says, and then just eat and eat a lot of food." You know what I mean? So I started to work with Liz Himmelstein, and then I ended up flying out to, the table read, and Coleman Domingo and we'd done The Butler together years before, and, we were mates. And I was like, I'm here with Jeffrey Wright and, Chris Rock's there. And, I'm like, there's some proper players here. And then I have to then open the screenplay. I'm the first person to talk.
Is everyone just watching you?
Bro, do you know what? I didn't speak because I was like, I don't want them to know I'm British. I did not speak, and so I did it, and there was no question. They weren't watching because they just didn't know I was British. And then when we came to actually shoot the actual film, I said, Aml, do you know what you're gonna have to do? You're just gonna have to stay in character. You have to stay in character, and very beautifully, the producers supported. They saw when I came in and I started to wear the outfit, and I would just talk, like, from the time I woke up in the morning, went downstairs to my driver never heard me speak anything outside of King's voice, and it's helped me to start to believe it, because there's no one trying to study you because they only have met you as that individual. It wasn't until I got through and I had to do the King's speech the first week of shooting, so it wasn't until like maybe 4 or 5 weeks in I started to, at dinner, would talk with people. I remember the first time I spoke to Jeffrey Wright in my accent, or Chris Rock, who's funny. He was like, "Nigga, you can act. Nigga, you actor. This nigga acted." I'm like, I was like, "Oh, thanks, man." He's like, "Nigga, you British, nigga?" I'm like, "Yeah." And the first year is like, "Yeah." You know what I mean? Yeah. He's like, "Nigga." Them men are brazen. And so literally, the way I got through it was by just not parking Aml as much as possible. And no one really heard me speak, other than Coleman, who, we'd known each other before. No one heard me speak.
And how many weeks was this for?
This was for September, October, November, maybe about 4 months, man. And we had COVID, so we had to shut down and come back, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Oh, man, that is real method right there, man.
Fear. It's real fear. And commitment. I don't want to mess it up.
Yeah.
I don't want to mess it up. And also, I want to have the most...
What's the fear?
The fear, for me, it's a mixture of things. It's like, it got announced that I was playing it, right? And... those that know my work, and those that don't, I can kind of skate by it. But it was, I saw a comment on Shadeborough. It's like, there's no way Trevor can play Martin Luther King. There's no way that Trevor, they posted me on Shadeborough. I was like, there's no way Trevor can play Martin Luther King. I said, yeah, bet. Let's see, my G.
Yeah.
And Trevor, Martin Luther King. We like you, Trevor. Come on. And that went in my head, and I was like, when this comes out, no one's even I'm gonna commit as much as I can to being transformative. So it's that fear and that will at the same time, you know what I mean? And listen, Americans loved it and embraced me for it, and it's done wonders for my career, prestige, elevation within the American space, the film went to the Academy. I got invited into the academy after the performance and all the rest of it, and so it's been great, you know.
Oh man, that's why I say, man, bro, to step into a role like that, especially as being a British actor, because you know you hear of the discussions of, you know, like British actors shouldn't be playing our roles and stuff.
I mean, the man them are killing it, low key.
The
man them are out here putting pressure on the whole thing. To be fair to you,
it's great to see, man. It's sensational to see, man.
Yeah.
Now, when we started this pod, you looked at the end question and you was like,
fucking hell.
Oh man, this end, man. This end is coming up, man. But I think when I look at your career of in the height of being in a cult classic film, being in a television show which is getting 8 million, you know, every is it every day the bill was on, right?
2 times.
Was it twice?
Yeah, Wednesday and Thursday.
Really?
Yeah.
It's mad because in my head I'm thinking it was like EastEnders back to back.
Yeah.
So like when you're in a show like that and you go to America, like 2010, where I think when you look at the world in the space that it is now, you know, going over there now is a lot easier for me than it would have been in 2010. You know, with the, you know, having to do like Netflix or whatever it is, they have a reference point of, you know, a UK music, UK sound, UK art, UK.
And the scene is not just there anymore. We're international. Like the whole thing is international.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. So the question is for your end is, and I know you still live out there as well, right? Do you feel that like your work is done here because you at an early age said, well, I'm going to go over there to be a success. Yeah. And you are a success over there. Do you know what I mean? This no one just goes and plays Martin Luther King. Do you know what I mean? Like, or has people like Cuba Gooding Jr. signing their immigration letters. Do you know what I mean? So you are a major success over there. You are really flying the flag, you know, for British actors over there. I don't know if you are that reference point for some of the younger actors where they're like, Aml, like, can I ask for some advice on X, Y, and Z?
I've been for sure over the years,
But do you feel like your work is done here in some ways because you are, you know, you are producing, you are directing? Like, what does that end start to look like? Because we can live in this country, but also feel that I don't know if I feel as I don't feel like I don't get the love that I get when you're in the States, because that's one thing that we all love when we go out there as a black Brit. Man, where y'all from, man? London, bruv, South London, bruv. You know about gigs, no? Let me tell you, man. But like, there's so many actors that is, you know, what you started the pod of saying is that I wanted to go to America, and there's so many black British actors, and that's the viewpoint now, where you're like, to be a success, I want to go out there. And you're saying that the world is a bigger place, but do you feel like your work here is done, or do you feel like there's more work to do now that acting here is in a different space than what you left it as in 2010?
I think my work here is at its beginning.
Oh wow!
You know, it's at its beginning. You know, I'm part of a legacy. You know, from a British standpoint, of, you know, you could tell a story about a time. You know, doing certain, like, you know, even doing Yardie, I wanted to come back and do that with, you know, the Don Idris, you know, and his thing, and Boxing Day. No, I think my work is just beginning, man. You know, I'm a man now. Dear mama, I'm a man now. You know, I want to make it on my own, not a handout. I'm a man now. You know, Kidulthood and that reference point is a part of my life as a young man. I'm a man now, so I'm very curious about where, you know, how I can help shape British culture cinematically and globally, be a part of it. How I can work with the best of the best, and just continue to make to grow an impact. I've got so much more as an artist in all the different disciplines to do. I feel like I've just began. Yeah. Strangely, you know, I've been like famous since I was a kid. But a certain type of famous, you know, one that's kind of manageable. And for me now, I'm very interested in taking our stories like international and globally, and the world getting to know us. And then for me as an actor, playing those seismic parts that I want to be a part. I want to lend myself to stuff that's got the ability to be classic. I don't work for just work's sake anymore.
Yeah.
I've also been very smart and frugal with myself, and so I don't need to just work to work. I want to work and work on the painting of my life. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, if you go to the Tate Modern, you're like, this is the paintings of my life, and it just so happens within the context of my painting, I get to paint us, who we are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, of course, man. Know? How important are our stories as well? So
it's the last interview before I'm 40, man. It's the last interview at 39.
So what would you tell yourself if you was 40, you met your younger self, who is just starting stage school, and
stage school, like the kid, like 6-year-old.
Yeah. Okay. What would you tell that kid? Damn. You know, when it comes to the success you've had, the career you've had, what would you tell that 6-year-old you, looking back, who just had thoughts and dreams of conquering America?
If I was telling him from today's point of view, because people always ask me now like that question, I'd say, bro, I've got nothing to offer you, man. The world is the wild, wild west, and I think the things that do remain is perseverance, character, and craft. These are things that remain. But outside of that, I've got nothing to tell you about how to be a success. You know, like, there's a great line in West Side Story, the movie, and he goes, man, when I was your age, and then the Jets go, man, you were never my age, you know, which means like I was not this age in this particular time and system, you know what I mean? Like, so I wouldn't offer any advice in that sense, but I would say, if anything, perseverance, character, and craft are the things that have given me longevity. Do you know what I mean? And luck is a moment in time, and you can, you know, I think luck circulates as well, and you can just bounce off that for a moment, but then it's going to be something else. Do you know what I mean? Like, how many people think that they can be, you know, do you? Like, there's loads of people. Yeah. But it's that level of consistency, and we know what the grind is like behind the scenes, you know. You know what even the creation of this, it's like, you know, there's what the world will offer you. Yeah. And then there's what you demand for yourself. And I think we're constantly pioneering.
Yeah, man.
Which is very strange. Like, you know, you feel like you're going to end up at the point where you feel like, I'm constantly pioneering. And I've spoken to some of the greatest artists that ever, modern day artists that have lived, and had conversations with people. And, they, you know, that maybe that making it never really happens. There's making it moments. Yeah. But something, if you're ambitious and you want to get after this life, I don't know if making it
is the end goal.
Yeah, it's the end goal.
This has been a pleasure, bro.
Oh man, thank you.
Honestly, too, man. Massively. Like, your journey is so inspiring, and I know there'll be so many actors listening to this that are in that stage of their life where, you know, they're like, I want to do this, and I want it to be a success. And hearing, you know, your journey of at the height of your career and saying, I want more. You know, I'm not going to rest.
I've just begun. When I look at that, I go, it's the end of that chapter, and this next chapter is just beginning. Yeah. And to actually be that which I believe God has put in my spirit to be. Like, I was 6 years old when I decided to do this. It's for more than just my own egoic accomplishments. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? Course. Like, this thing was, for me personally, it was written into my DNA, storytelling, encapsulating our experience on this planet, and then exploring what it means to be a human being. Like, you know, I'm kind of like like I'm proper that side of the coin when it comes to artistry. You know, I'm a deep thinker, and it might not even be acting. It might not even be like those might be conduits to a greater journey. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, man.
I don't feel fully satiated in that arena, but there's something that's been programmed into my spirit, and the gift of my life has been knowing it early, and the challenge, you know, the hero's journey of my life has been where we're going to make you climb the mountain brick by brick, moment by moment, like, you know what I mean? And any, you know, actors, you know, I just think I'm an actor's actor. So like people know those that know my journey and know that, you know, I've done a lot to, you know what I mean? And there's the spark of when something happens, and then it's like boom. Because a lot of people that I grew up with in that time, you know, save, like, you know, Femi's doing great, but you know, a lot of people have you have to grow, otherwise you know you die. You know.
Yeah, man.
What's the longevity of things? Why are you in it for? You know what I mean? So I'm actually on this day at 39, a week before I'm 40. I'm deeply exploring those, you know, ideas. You know,
I'm
happy to have done it as honestly as I can on here with you, man. I appreciate you bringing me up.
Listen, Aml, man. I hope it continues, and it's like you're saying, if your journey started now, I look forward to what's to come next. Do you know what I mean? Like, even you look at the roles that you've done. Do you remember when I see you in what's it called, in Soho House, and I was like, bro, I see that film you done the other day, man.
Which one was that?
Where you're the soldier and you come back and man's trying to kill you.
Ooh, Deadshot.
I said, yeah, man. But bro, honestly, man, it's been a pleasure. And you speak about longevity, and I just pray that it continues, man, because you really are shining, you know, a light on what it is to be an actor, but also go across the pond, but also come back and still flourish. Do you know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, Trevor, you
is the one. That's the new one for me. I never heard no one say that too much.
That's my one. You.
Well, you.
Brother, thank you so much, man.
My God.
This has been your beginning, middle, and end. Thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate you, man. Hey, what's up? Thank you so much for listening to the podcast today. Now, a lot goes into making each episode. I know you hear my voice, but there's a team behind the scenes who help make it. And if you did enjoy it, I'd really, really appreciate if you could show the love to them by giving us 5 stars. And if you also have the time, please leave us a review. It's always appreciated, and we love reading the comments. And of course, we want to keep making it better. Thank you for listening, and have a great day. Peace.